Well, I just wanted to talk about your training methods because we're in an age now where there's a lot of high-tech style training. We see fighters now, they're using advanced methods. They got strength and conditioning coaches, but you use basically a lot of unorthodox type of training methods. Where did you come up with that style of training?
I guess when I started boxing, I always wanted to be a throwback type of fighter, and I guess growing up, we always worked hard labor. Everybody in my family, the girls, the boys, everybody. My mom and everybody always talk about picking cotton, and we hauled pulpwood, and we just did all labor work where I was from. And when I started boxing, I was so strong, and it wasn't even from me to condition it, just that I was so used to all that hard work. And I would look at my brothers and cousins, and they had six-packs, and they were ripped from head to toe, and then they didn't even have time to lift a weight. It comes from all just the hard labor that we would do. So once I started boxing, I said, I'm just going to simulate every job I've ever had, all the hard labor that I've ever done, and I'm going to put it into the boxing. Because I didn't have running water when I grew up, so I used to have to haul 5-gallon buckets of water every day. And so people were picking me because my shoulders were so big. But I was hauling 5 gallons of bucket. That's like 45 pounds a piece. That's 45 pounds. And I had to do that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day. Then I used to get pine cones. After they cut the pulpwood, and you had a pine cone, and you have to walk maybe 10 miles into the woods to get them, and you have to pack them back little by little, and that's just how it was.
Now, I'm sorry. Do you think that you could train any fighter like that? Do you think that you need a special type of fighter like James to be able to do that type of training?
My daughter is like, never seen. She's 8-0 as a pro. I train in the same exact way.
Wow.
I have basketball players, football players, and it's just a mental. You have to be mental. You know, I don't always go around saying you're gonna win. I don't train to win. I train so I'm gonna lose. I train not to get my ass whooped. So it's a mental thing. Like, do you want to win? Willing to give anything it is to give to win. You have to be in top shape. You have to be a real, true warrior. You have to just give it all you, and you have to prepare. You need to prepare.
Now, after the third round, James started boxing a little bit, and he wasn't going at him as much. He started picking and choosing his spots, stepped back a little bit, and pot-shotted. Was that part of the game plan going in? Did you know that maybe this guy could stand up to the shots, and you may have to box a little bit? Because a lot of people were surprised about that.
We knew he could. We knew he could stand up. We knew James could box. James could box better than what you saw Saturday night. He can box. He can bang. He can do everything. But why should he box if he can punch like hell? But once that don't work, let's switch it up. We'll switch it up. If I always told James, I said, if you got to think of boxing as like you're hunting. If you just run out there, the deer are going to run. Sometimes you have to stalk them down. Sometimes you have to put some feed down. Sometimes you just, it's not just to kill. It's not just jump on them and kill them all the time. Sometimes you got to bait them in. Sometimes you got to, you know. And so what I told him, don't run into nothing. He still got a little, he still got a little punch on him. So now you in way better condition than he is. Use your speed. Boxing. Don't allow him to hit you, and you can beat the living hell out of him. Then after that, I told him in the 6th round, Max Kellerman said that I said he's not going nowhere. And Sam said, just boxing. Boxing. Because once he's boxing, if you see when James started boxing, he was speed. When James boxing to us is throwing more than 3 or 4 punches. You know, when you're trying to knock somebody out, you can throw 1 or 2 punches. When you boxing, to me, what I call boxing, moving your head, and you're throwing more punches with speed.
Gotcha.
It just show you right then and there. If Angulo would have settled down and picked his shots while he was trying to finish James off, he would have did better. James didn't just go wild. He was intelligent enough to pick his shots when he did have him hurt.
Now, because you were a former fighter, a multiple world time champion, do you feel as though you can relate better to James because you not only talk the talk, you walk the walk too? And you think that's because because of that you got a lot more out of James and he can respect you more than just someone just throwing a towel over their shoulder?
No, I can't explain. I have about 20 amateurs. When you come in my gym, okay, if 100 people come, 85 is gonna leave, maybe 90, and be like, I can't do this. But the 10 that's left, we'll go to a tournament and clean the whole entire tournament out. Even if we lose, they'll be like, shit, I don't never want to fight none of them ever again. It's a mental thing. It's that, look, you're fighting. That man wants to win. He want to win the same. He want to win just like you. And who don't want to say he won? Why would God choose you over him? So what are you going to do that's going to make you beat somebody that want to win just as much as you're going to win?
Now,
that means that if Angulo, if I come to the camp and say it's 4 o'clock in the morning, get up, we finna go run with some bulletproof vests on for 8 miles, Angulo ain't doing that.
Gotcha.
So that's a mental one-up. James starts for 16, 18 rounds, and after he started a hard 12, then I put somebody in there just to beat the crap out of him, and so he blocks, and then they say, we gonna hurt him. I said, well, if he get hurt in here, he don't have to worry about getting hurt at the fight.
Okay. Now, do you think the victory was like a double-edged sword because James looked so unbeatable in there for those 6 rounds after he got knocked down? He looked like he could walk through fire and still, make it out alive. Do you think people are going to look at that and they're going to avoid him now? You think it's going to be tough getting fights in the future?
No, I'm not really. I mean, because you have to fight the best to be the best. And if James, if you see me in the corner with him, if James don't get in shape, in top shape, mentally focused, I feed him all the way until after the fight. Then I say, you can eat what you want. So for 7 weeks, he's eating what I say. He's doing everything I say. If they don't want to fight him, when you get up to this point, I think they have to fight. I would assume. But it's like, anybody you see me with, you can best believe they're going to fight. Because I'm not going to even be in the corner if they don't fight. And then they think I just train these crazy fighters so I got people that's so slick that you can't touch them, but they still gonna fight. They still gonna 100% in shape. Have to be in shape. You cannot. That's just how I am. I can't explain it.
Now, because of the performance James put on in Mexico, do you think that the Mexican people are going to be calling for a match with Canelo? Do you think they're going to demand that and it's going to have to happen at some point?
Yeah, I think it should have to happen, but I tell you one thing, I'm not going to Mexico and fight it.
Okay. No, why is that?
They cheated. Man, they were doing all kind of, not the local people, but, they don't have a real commission. We never seen the doctor yet.
Okay.
We have not seen the doctor today, so they don't have a real commission. You pick the gloves. It's like we was at in a way, I liked it because it was like, shit, a free-for-all. But nah, I wouldn't, Canelo is going to lead unless he's going to go up to 60, and, here's everybody saying, James can't beat this, and James can't. You would never hear me say that James could beat anybody. Never. I've never said that. Even when I was fighting, I had 8 world titles, 4 different weight classes. Never heard me say I can beat no one. And I tell him, you don't say who you can beat. How do you know? But I tell you one thing. Whoever gets in that ring with anybody that I train, especially James Kirkman, because he got a little more added on emotion, just his personality, that he's going to fight you to the death. For real.
Okay. So you'd have no problems going up to 160 then and fighting Sergio Martinez, and that wouldn't be a problem at all.
No, but why should we? That's the problem I had. I cleaned out 54, then I had to move up to 60, and then I had to move up to 68, then I had to move up to 75. But when you look at it, James Kirkland needs to make some money. Don't just go get, we're going to fight everybody. If the money's there, I will fight him against anybody. Now is what I see is like, shit, who can we get to whoop his ass? Not who can, we're a junior middleweight. every junior middleweight. That's a junior middleweight. We should fight every junior middleweight before we move up to 160.
So you think after this performance, James is going to get paid now? He should get paid now. Shouldn't be a problem.
He should. He should. I mean, you got to look at what he did.
Yo.
You got to look at what we went to another country and fought a whole country. We fought against the country. If you're going back and look at the fight, everybody was in Angulo's corner. I mean, it had a massive amount of people in his corner. And it was only me, him, and Pops in our corner. Cut man. And he went down there and he destroyed him. Not only did he destroy him, that's one of the best fights that I've seen. I used to hurry up and run home to get to the TV on Fridays and Saturdays to watch the fight. Now I could be at the park and I'd be like, I don't want to see it. Whatever it is, I don't want to see it because it's not even worth me looking at. That was worth looking at.
Oh, it definitely was. No doubt. I watched it a few times already on my DVR. Now, do you?
I mean, you got people calling me because they're like, "Where can we see the fight?" Because HBO has made YouTube take it off, and I mean, you got people still buzzing about. I want.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And then
when people was going, well, that's like a Thomas Hearns, Marvin Hagler type of fight. You know, I'm a throwback, old school. I was like, don't even say that. But when I got home and watched that, shit, it was.
Yeah, that was a great fight. Words can't describe that fight. I got to be real with you on that one. Now,
that first round was amazing.
Oh, it was inspiring, man. It really was. Max Kellerman couldn't have said it better. This was something for people to look at, not just boxing fans. Because, I mean, when you see something like that kind of pumps you up and say to yourself, you know what? I don't got it so bad. I mean, this man got off from the canvas. And he got hit like a cinder block. If he could do something like that, I mean, damn, I can go through my everyday life, no doubt. But
and Angulo, man, you know, the only thing I never criticized no one, but if James after the fifth round, I've never thrown in a towel. But if it was flipped the other way, I would have threw in a towel.
That's very interesting that you say that. That's very interesting you say that.
I wouldn't have threw it in 1, 2, 3, 4. But after the fifth round, I would have said it's not worth it.
No, that makes sense.
After the last minute of the fifth round, I would have made up in my mind, let him finish the fifth round, and and I would have said that's it. Because that man took so much of punishment, it went beyond boxing.
Yeah, he's never going to be the same.
Being savage.
He's never going to be the same. There's no doubt about that. He can't come back and be the same after that. That reminds me of like a Meldrick Taylor after the Chavez fight. He may turn into that. I hate to say it, but that could definitely happen to him. I just don't see him coming back from that and being the same vicious guy that he once was.
I just don't. I think if he would have just got knocked out in the first round, he came back and you know what I'm saying, you could even get a rematch. But after that, after the rest of them, the other 5 rounds, why would you allow another human being to get the hell? Now, I'm never finna say I'm gonna tell him to try to kill him. But that's for his coach to say, nah, that's enough. The hell with Mexico.
That's too much pride.
The hell with
that's too much
the hell with the pride, man. Pride. Crazy.
No, I feel
that's what I say. I mean, that's just my opinion.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. Now, did you feel like you guys were being set up to lose going down there? I mean, everyone was against you.
Oh, yeah.
Did that help motivate you though? Were you driving that home to James like, James, they're setting us up to lose. Let's prove these guys wrong. Let's show them. Did that give you added motivation?
Nope.
No.
I don't need no motivation. And you see how James is on the top? If they go get somebody with 10 losses, I'm gonna tell him, man, you better come on. I'm gonna be just as motivated.
So if he was in the
I promise you.
So if he was in the corner for the Kirkland fight, there's no way he would have taken him lightly with you there.
No,
you never would have allowed that.
No. If they give James somebody that's 10 and 10, I'm gonna be like, man, let's go. This, you know what I'm saying? I would train just as hard as I did if it was him.
Uh-huh.
You don't play train. I can't play train. I don't care. You know. You look what you could do with Toshida. I don't care if you fight somebody with. It doesn't matter to me. You get prepared just the same.
Okay, I got one last one before I let you go in. After what happened, this past Saturday. Is the phone ringing off the hook? Are other fighters calling you up saying, I want to train with Wolfe now? Has that happened yet?
Nobody called me yet. I guess they say shit.
I can't do that.
Gonna kill me.
Yeah.
It goes to show who wants to win.
I feel
Because
that.
I guarantee it's a couple of fighters that can, you know what I'm saying? It's just, they got everything, but they not motivated. It's like they don't have that motivational part of it, and a lot of the coaches get old. And how the hell you go? It's like hiring a conditioning coach, hiring a nutritionist, hiring a pad coach, and then a regular coach. I'm like, God, how you know that the conditioning coach getting this man in right shape? How you know? You know what I'm saying? I can see a conditioning coach, but the rest of that I can't see. And I feel like the conditioning coach and I say the head coach should be in every single thing that man does. Everything. That's your job. When he runs, when your conditioning coach is conditioning him, you should be there to see.
Yeah. So you're kind of like too many cooks can spoil the soup, in other words.
That's it. Now you can have two. I can see a head coach, because sometimes those head coaches start getting a little older. I can see a head coach and a conditioning coach.
I got you.
Past that, I don't see. And then you got this and you got that. I don't understand that. I just don't, because how you know? But see, then you go back and you look at Manny Pacquiao. What they got, that formula they got, works very well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess Manny Pacquiao himself knows I need to be in shape. If I ain't nothing else, I need to be in shape.
I guess it starts with the fighter, regardless of who's in the corner with you. You gotta want it. You just have to have that mentality, and you have to have.
I know, but when it comes to James, when it comes to training, you got some fighters that they'll do whatever you tell them, and then you got some that want to get lazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just forget about it. Oh shit, I shouldn't have got lazy. But I'm the kind of coach, I don't let you get lazy. I don't let you say we're going to skip this. I don't let you say we're going to do that. I tell you, we're not skipping anything. If we're going to do 1,000 sit-ups, we're going to do 1,000. We're not going to do 900, 800. We're going to do 1,000. And just because you said that, let's do 1,200.
Okay. Well, Ann, thank you so much for taking the time out today. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Great job on Saturday, and I wish you guys the best of luck in the future.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All
yes,
right.
sir. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.